Today we are going to learn about the discovery of proton. So, proton was discovered by Goldstein, a German scientist who discovered anode rays and positive particles in the year 1898 while experimenting with the discharge tube. He used a discharge tube to find out the positive anode rays or positive particles. But another name is linked with the discovery of proton, that is Ernest Rutherford, a New Zealand-born British, discovered nucleus in 1911 and proton in 1917 when he conducted his most popular and renowned alpha particles scattering experiment. So, in the discovery of proton, these both names are linked. These both names are very famous, whose names are linked with the discovery of proton. So, how when the electron was discovered by the J.J. Thomson with the help of same discharge tube, the question arises why the protons were not discovered while electrons were discovered. Why the protons were not discovered? The simple answer is that was uh, understood later, that protons are much heavier than the electrons. So let's uh, see how Goldstein. In this video we are going to learn about the experiment of Goldstein, who discovered positive particles, and after that positive particles were called protons. So first of all, the Goldstein found out those particles. So let's go how he found out. Here you see a tube. It is made up of a glass. It is a transparent. So two electrodes were fixed. One electrode is positive and the other electrode is negative. It was connected with high voltage power supply, high voltage source. A gas was filled in the tube. Let's suppose any gas, for example hydrogen gas or any gas you can say. As we know that the electricity can travel with the help of any medium. So electricity move needs a medium. So there is no any medium between the two electrodes. How these the electricity, how the proton or electron traveled? So we have seen the during the rainy season or thundering season. So thunder or electricity fell on the ground from the sky. So why that happens? That happens only on the two conditions. first of all on low pressure and high voltage. So if when we go up, the pressure decreases. So same situation was created in the discharge tube. So the pressure inside the tube was decreased by applying vacuum pump. By applying vacuum pump and high voltage source. So when the high voltage power was applied, another thing which is very important, as I said earlier, same discharge tube experiment was carried out during the discovery of electron, but protons were not discovered. Here Goldstein made some modification in the electrodes. Here you can see, here electrode is positive and here electrode is negative. So this negative or cathode electrode is perforated, having holes inside it, while the positive or anode electrode having no any holes, because it was discovered later that protons are much heavier than the electrons. When the J.J. Thomson carried out discharge tube experiment, he found out electrons, cathode rays traveled towards anode. They crossed the anode while being heavier. Protons couldn't cross the cathode. That's why Goldstein made it perforated. So you can say a perforated tube experiment it also. So when the high voltage source was applied, the positive anode rays traveled towards the cathode and it crossed the holes, perforated cathode and strike with the tube which has a coat of zinc sulfide. As you know, when any charged particles strike with zinc sulfide, it glows. So a glow was produced on the back of the cathode. In that tube lights, you can see a white powder, that is zinc sulfide coat. So same was applied in the discharge tube experiment. So that it was understood that the positive in atom there is any a positive particle is present. There is positive particle is present. It was then named proton by the Rutherford by performing by bombard. The experiment was the alpha particles bombardment on the beryllium. So in this way, Goldstein found out the positive particles in the atom. When high source was applied, positive particles traveled towards cathode. We know that positive particles attracted by negative particles and negative particles were attracted by positive particles. So then high voltage was high voltage power was supplied, positive particles are produced from the hydrogen gas. So ionization takes place. Hydrogen, as you know, it has one proton, one neutron. So the proton uh, becomes proton traveled towards the cathode, that is negatively charged. Hope you understood well. Thank you.